Have you ever used a book as a pill without giving it a second thought? Have you ever placed your phone on top of a stack of printed spiritual teachings, or left sacred texts open and face down on a desk thinking it doesn't matter because it's just paper? Welcome back to the channel. I'm grateful you're here, because today we're diving into something so subtle, so quiet, that most people overlook it their entire lives. The power of reverence, specifically, the transformative energy that awakens when we treat sacred scriptures with genuine respect. You might be wondering, why does it matter how we treat an object if the wisdom is inside us? Why should we care where we place a book, how we handle it, or whether we bow before a sutra? The answer is simple and profound, because how you treat the container reveals how you approach the contents. And in this episode, we'll explore why respecting scripture, treating every spiritual text as if it were a living embodiment of the truth, can unlock blessings and clarity that casual reading will never touch. We'll also hear real stories from ordinary people as lives changed not through mystical visions or loud breakthroughs, but simply by choosing to bow not just with their heads, but with their hearts. Let's begin with the story of T, a college student who was assigned to transcribe sections of a Buddhist text for a volunteer project. T was raised in a secular household, didn't consider himself religious, and mostly took the job because it offered service hours. He tapped lazily, D-chips at the same time, used the sutra printout as a coaster for his coffee cup. Until one afternoon, an elder nun walked by and said, gently but firmly, "Would you eat while painting a sacred image? Then why do you eat while copying sacred words?" He laughed awkwardly. But that night, he couldn't sleep. The next day, he came in early, lit his table, lit incense, placed the text on a clean cloth, and as he began to copy, something shifted. His mind quieted, his hands steadied. He noticed the rhythm of each phrase, felt a softness arise in his chest. Weeks later, he wrote in his journal, "I don't know what happened, but I feel like the book I once ignored has started reading me." That's the heart of reverence. It's not about superstition. It's about alignment. When you honor the form, you make space for the formless. There's a reason why ancient traditions across cultures of Buddhist, Hindu, Taoist, Christian, Islamic treat sacred texts as living presences, not objects to be owned, but teachers to be served. In Tibetan monasteries, scriptures are wrapped in cloth, placed above eye level, and never stepped over. In Theravada temples, even the palm leaf manuscripts are handled with care and offered a moment of stillness before opening. In Zen, even the act of chanting a sutra is done with posture, clarity, and full body presence. Because how you approach a teaching determines what you receive from it. Distracted mind receives fragmented understanding. A reverent mind becomes a mirror for the teaching itself. Let me take you to another moment. A lay practitioner named Ma had kept a stack of sutras under her bed for years. He never read them. He didn't even realize they were there, until one day, while cleaning, she found them covered in dust, crumpled at the edges. He felt something she didn't expect to change. Not from external judgment, but from within. He sat down, carefully wiped each cover, and began reading the Heart Sutra for the first time. That same week, she dreamed of walking through a vast library, where scrolls whispered teachings in the wind. When she told her teacher, the elder simply smiled and said, "When you clean the outer form, you begin to awaken the inner path." This is not magic, it's resonance. Because the sacred responds to how you treat it. If you treat a text as mundane, it remains closed to you. If you treat it as sacred, it opens. This applies not only to books, but to every aspect of life. Your relationships, your breath, your daily rituals, the way you wake up, the way you set the table. Reverence isn't about bowing to objects. It's about bowing to the moment again and again, until presence becomes your default state. That's when wisdom begins to live through you. Let's return to the scriptures. There's a saying in Buddhist tradition: to recite the sutra without respect is like lighting incense with a wet match. There will be no flame. So how do we light the flame? Here are 5 sacred habits to restore reverence in your spiritual practice. Designate a space. Keep your scriptures on a clean, elevated shelf. Avoid placing them near the floor, in bathrooms, or under clutter. This is not fear, it's focus. Begin with stillness. Before reading, take 3 breaths. If you wish, light a candle or incense. Create a field of intention. Handle with care. Use clean hands. Turn pages gently. Ever fold corners. Let the physical act reflect the internal respect. Read with presence. Even 5 minutes of focused reading is better than an hour of distracted scanning. Let the words enter you fully. Offer your merit. At the end of each reading, dedicate your understanding to all beings. Let your practice ripple outward. You may think these rituals are unnecessary, that the real teaching is beyond form. Sendo. Or miss the doorway. For the beginner, form creates structure. For the seasoned practitioner, form becomes expression. And for the awakened one, form dissolves into formless truth. If you skip steps, you miss the essence. Monk once said when I bow to the sutra, I am not worshipping ink. I am reminding myself that wisdom cannot be possessed, it must be received. So next time you pick up a sacred text, pause. Ask yourself, am I here to conquer these words, or to let them transform me? Because the answer to that question will shape your entire path. And let me be honest, you don't need to read volumes of scripture to awaken. You just need to approach one line with your whole heart. At one line, fully received, can dissolve lifetimes of confusion. At one paragraph, deeply digested, can shift the course of your life. But only if you meet it with reverence. So whether you follow a spiritual tradition or not, whether you read the Dhammapada, the Tao Te Ching, the Bible, or poetry from Rumi, approach your reading like prayer. Let it be slow. Let it be sacred. Let it be a mirror. Because in the end, sacred texts are not meant to be studied like textbooks. They are meant to be absorbed, lived, embodied. And the doorway to that transformation is not just knowledge but reverence. If this message resonates with you, I invite you to reflect. How do you treat the teachings that guide you? Where have you let casualness replace care? What would it look like to bring sacredness back, and not just to books, but to your entire life? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you practice reverence in your own way. And if this video spoke to your soul, help others hear it. Like, subscribe, and pass it on. Let's build a world where respect is not outdated. Where stillness is not weakness. Where bowing becomes the most powerful thing we do all day. Thank you for watching.
Before you leave, here's something special. In Buddhism, we believe that every encounter carries a deeper meaning. Would you like to discover your true soul connection, the one written into your destiny? Take the Soulmate Test today and unveil the hidden truths of your journey. Click the link below and begin your path now.
http://soulmate. You wisdom more, come, white.